Oh, sorry. Um, I have to go using another live streaming because the one we advertised earlier had issues. So I'm so sorry about that. Um, Today we're working on don't ever waste your pain. Don't waste your pain. Don't waste your pain. Yeah. And I just want to tell you a few stories. I don't intend this to last for more than a few minutes. Just tell you a few stories and then I'm done. Um, One of the major problems on earth is inability to use resources you have. And I think one of the most beautiful resources that people waste is pain. A lot of people waste their pain. I've gone through quite a lot of pains in my own life, lots and lots of pains. And you know, I found out that every single thing I do today, in consulting, in public speaking, in running my organizations and all those, pain is one of the most, you know, important tool. The things I learn, they're the important tools I use. You know, I've said it severally. If you've not been able to listen to a story, is a very beautiful story. I had poliomyelitis when I was a little over a year, about 1 year, 6 months. I went through by age 6. My legs had turned topsy turvy because I was crawling, and by age 6, I had become perfectly suicidal. Suicidal thought and all those just natural to me. And I felt um, really I needed to kill myself because for me, what's this living all about when I cannot really, cannot really, you know, be like others. I can't walk around. I can't do what others do. You know, why should I? Why should I live? So killing myself was just the best option I could find. Yeah, but you see, looking back now, it's not an option um, at all. At all, it's not even an option. But the point is very simple. There are, you know, maybe three major things I need to open your eyes to this evening regarding, your pain. Number one, point about pain is that your pain, if you don't know, it's good that you mark it out. You know, very, very important that you mark it out. Just, be very careful about it and mark it out. Number one is that life is a complex process, a complex process of production where what you produce earlier is used as raw material for what you're going to produce later. What you produced earlier is going to be a raw material for what you're going to produce later. Let me explain that. Now, what that means is that anytime, anytime a raw material for the next stage you are going to, so if you're borrowing, if you handle it well, it is a raw material for the next stage you're going to. If you're disabled, the raw material for the next stage you are going to. If you lose somebody, if you handle it well, the next stage for the raw material you are going, and the raw material for the next stage you are going to. If you lose a contract, and you handle it well, it is the raw material for the next stage you're going into. So life is a complex process of, so much productions going on, but each one is a raw material for the next stage. So what does that mean? What it means is that for every single pain you go through, hold it well because you're going to use it for the next stage. If you are duped, hold it well. You're going to use it for the next stage of your production. If your business fails, hold it well. You're going to, whatever happens to you, hold it well. You're going to use it for the next stage. So, in other words, immediately you start seeing pain as a raw material. What happens? Pain becomes something that you can accommodate. Look at the great persons, the great people you've ever heard of, you've ever known. Tell me one of them that do not have a story that is motivating. Check all of them. They tell you what they've conquered to come to where they are. You're going to say, wow, that's wonderful. So if that is true, your pain is something you must handle very well. Yeah? Because life is a complex process of production where the earlier product is the raw material for the next product. But that's what thing I wanted to understand. Number two thing I wanted to understand is that like fractional distillation, pain is one of the products of life's production. Like what? Fractional distillation, pain is one of the products of life. One of the products of life. There's nothing you can do about it. Nothing you can do about it. You must have pain. I use crutches to walk around, and I just came back from a trip, 1 week training trip. And while I was in that trip, I had very uncomfortable pain in my wrist here. So if you look, you can compare the two wrists. So um, you can see that in this one you have my arteries. You can see, but in this one, you don't have anything because it's swollen. Yeah, so you can see. Now, what happens in that journey? You know, I discovered that I had maybe sprain or strain, I don't know. And my heart started swollen. I've been booked for 7 days of continuous teaching, sometimes from morning to evening. And the major things that this same hand is what I'm going to use to hold the crutches in order to move myself. You see, and it was so difficult, so difficult. I was just afraid. I was just praying, oh God, how do I get back to my family after? I put through, and it was. But the point I wanted to make is that you see, every stage of your life is about one kind of little discomfort or the other. Or why I started this discussion, don't waste your pain, wealth your pain. Why I started the discussion is because of the amount of suicidal, you know, ideation that is going around in our country and around the world, anyways. It's not peculiar to our country. People are thinking of killing themselves, and as you always know, you know, suicide is not a solution because it's a super dumb reaction that involves giving a permanent solution to a temporary problem. So, in other words, you don't need to kill yourself because like fractional distillation. Pain is one of the products of life's production. Now, it's very important to also note, like number 3 point, that you know, pain is a function of perception because the difference between bitter and better is I. I am to decide whether something is going to make me better or something is going to make me bitter. Some of the things that you pass through in life and then you don't even um, think about it as something so difficult. A lot of people pass through and they go and kill themselves. Let's see. Since I changed my perception of disability or physical challenge, you know, life has been so beautiful. You see, everything is seen from the spectacle of, see, it's not really prevented me from anything. I have a beautiful wife, I have children, four, even a set of twins, I have a PhD. I have, you know, job. I retired 70 years at full salary. I have, you know, businesses. I have a business school. I have consulting firm with branches across the country. I have, so if you want to dwell on anything, you will find reasons to be. And whatever you focus on, you start getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I want you to understand that pain, you call it pain because of how you perceive it. You can decide that this is a process, it's not a pain. What we call pain, we can decide that they are processes. Yeah, you can decide that instead of calling it pain, say, I'm passing this through this process at the moment. Okay, the fourth thing I want to talk about, so because I don't want the video to be too long, is because this is going to be a series. Don't waste your pain. This part one, don't waste your pain. Part two, don't waste your pain. Now, inability to use your pain gives rise to frustration and can lead to suicidal ideation. There are many stories I can tell you, but because I don't want to take this further than I have, you know, there are a few things Ben has taught me. Number one, Ben has taught me that you can create your fate. Pain has taught me that you can design your fate. You can decide, this is how I want my life to be, and then you design it. Pain has taught me that. So it's very pertinent to point out that when it comes to, pain, you can decide that pain is not pain. Pain is a process, and then you use it to create the kind of future you are looking for, the kind of future you want, the kind of life you want. So, because of all the pains I've gone through, pains in my physical body, pains in my mind, pains of lack of confidence, pain of um, um, you know orthopedic surgery, pain of not getting what I want when I want it because I can't reach out to it because I can get the pain of depending on people to actually help me do the things I should have been doing for myself and all this kind of thing. Those pains have taught me so much. And today they've been transmogrified into products in my organizations or from confidence university to public speaking for income to emotional intelligence to how to run your business without money to how to bootstrap your business when you don't have funds to my coaching mentoring programs to quite a lot of things to the strategies I've built and theories and principles I've developed. They are all functions of what I've passed through. So we're going to continue on this series, but what I want you to know is that your perception can make pain a process instead of pain. So I encourage you to continue to hold on, knowing that see, this too shall pass. There is no need for suicide is not an option and can never be an option. If I can live a beautiful life, disabled in my lower limbs, moving around the world, achieving my dreams, you can even do it better. Looking forward to seeing you in our future videos. Remain blessed and stay celebrated. If you love the video, try sharing it to your friends so that they can also learn from it. Thank you very much.